Hello, it's Monday and we are back with you, so welcome again to Take 5.
As you can see, we're not at home. We've been out and about this weekend and we are visiting lovely Arundel.
On location, you can
so
just about see the castle in the background.
We thought we'd take you with us. As you can just see, we just got the castle behind us.
So thank you to Josh for last week's Take 5s.
Yes.
Bringing us through Genesis and ending up with Abraham. And we are taking over for the next few chapters. Take time to read the chapters for today. I think it's, what is it today?
17 to 19
That's
today.
the one, 17, 18 and 19. So 3 chapters. We're just going to focus in on one bit. If you haven't read it, take a break, read it now. But we're going to focus in on that first chapter where the Lord meets with Abraham and tells him some things.
Yes, indeed. It's quite an exciting chapter, this one, I think, because it's not so many chapters ago. Back in chapter 15, which Josh did last week, where we have the promise from God to Abraham with the stars in the sky, your descendants will be as numerous as. But even though that's only a couple of chapters ago, a great deal of time has passed.
That's right.
It's quite a long time ago in time, so we're talking 24, 25 years later. And Abraham is waiting for that promise to be fulfilled.
Yeah, and all that time, the promise is hanging over him, but no children.
Yes, indeed.
How does this work, God?
Yes, and then we get to this chapter, and then we hear that God is going to change their names. He's going to change Abraham's name to Abraham and Sarai's name to Sarah. So suddenly you feel like there's a shift.
Something's happening. God's on the move.
There's a change. There's a shift in the atmosphere. It's like they've been given a new identity. That something is beginning to happen. And I'm just having a little look at the meaning of the names, and it said that Sarai was, the meaning of that was princess, my princess, whereas Sarah, the meaning of that was princess for everyone, which then in the passage later on it goes to say that she's going to be the mother of all nations. So that's really
It's a bit more of the promise falling into place,
a little bit more of the
and an
promise
encouragement for Sarah, because she's not young.
No, I mean, all this time, the shame of not having children, I mean, it's a big thing to not be able to have a child.
And yet God is saying you will be the princess of many nations.
Yes.
So he's holding on to the promise. It's brilliant stuff.
Yes.
Brilliant.
Yes.
And then we come to this whole thing with circumcision, which I'm not going to go into because it sounds terribly painful and eye-watering and all that sort of thing. But there is this Old Testament idea, and God seals his covenant with Abraham through this passage of rite, this act of circumcision, and that's an action on the body. And Paul tells us in the New Testament that it's our hearts that have now been circumcised when we come to believe in Christ. In other words, there's a spiritual change that goes on deep inside us that cannot be altered, that we cannot go back on. Circumcision is permanent. It's a mark on the body, so it is that our hearts are marked, they are changed. And just like Abraham circumcised his family there in that chapter in Genesis, God, when we become Christians, he circumcises us. And like Julie was saying, there's a name change and there's a heart change, and God sees us as his children, his adopted children. And that's something to rejoice in. That's something to hold on tight to. I mean, if you're having a tough Monday or you've had a tough weekend, you are changed. Your heart has been changed by Christ, and dwell on that today. Dwell on that this week, and we'll read on through Genesis and look at some more aspects of God's promise to Abraham and how that works out in Abraham's life and Sarah's.
Yes, absolutely. We will be back with you again tomorrow.
Bye bye now.
Bye.